Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So today I'm going to be talking about the Roblox situation. This is something a lot of people are talking about right now. Roblox is in huge trouble. This is a multi-billion-dollar company that is seeing its stocks fall because of a major scandal that they are facing. This is not something that just brewed over the past week or two. This is something that's been brewing up for really years at this point because Roblox does not want to take care of predatory people using its game to contact real children. Now, of course, a lot of people have talked about this topic already. I'm going to get through the history very quickly, and then I'll get to the most recent stuff that really shows how nervous Roblox is right now and how they really are reaping what they have sown. Now, let's begin with this article right here. This is something that over the past week has been a major topic of discussion, and that is a predator problem on Roblox, basically being described as a hunting ground for child predators, where they have all this access to young kids playing this game, and they are exposing them to all kinds of sexual things and even trying to meet up with them in real life. This is a problem that's been exposed really hard over the past week or two, but this is something that people have been pointing out for years now, and it seems like Roblox has no interest in intervening or stopping this whatsoever. And the only reason you could possibly think of for this is that it's about money. They want more money because they're actually financially benefiting from this disgusting system we have set up here that they're allowing to happen over and over again. So the reason a lot of people have been talking about this, especially as of late, is largely due to this YouTuber named Schlep. This is someone who has been kind of the main protagonist of fighting back against Roblox right now. This is someone who was groomed as a child through Roblox and the lack of security and security measures they had in place. And now he's made it his job to go around and try to do the work for Roblox and try to protect kids and not allow what happened to him happen to them as well. And you can see he's made a bunch of videos recently doing sort of sting operations on people through Roblox, and it's led to 6 arrests. This is something that has been very successful, and he's done it with other YouTubers like Vigilantes, and they have gotten people actually arrested who are attempting to meet up with what they thought was a minor. And this whole thing really blew up when, about a week ago, Schlep announced that he has been IP banned on Roblox, and also he is being threatened with lawsuits. He was sent a cease and desist from Roblox, a multi-billion-dollar company, literally coming down with the wrath on him because he's exposing the predators on that game that Roblox seemingly does nothing about. Let me just play a small clip from a different clip that he released, just talking about some of the issues. If you're not familiar with Roblox at all, that's fine. I think even with this small clip, you can understand how disturbing and widespread and out in the open all this stuff is in the Roblox community.
There are games on Roblox like XYZ Public Bathroom Simulator. That's about 7 million visits, and the whole premise of the game is showering together with kids. That is the whole game. If you join it, you're going to see predators, you're going to see naked avatars, you're going to see people peeing and all this sort of weird stuff. If I was a parent and I saw that, I would be outraged. I would be totally outraged. And parents aren't aware of this, and it's so sad. I get emails from kids daily about all the horrible stuff that they're exposed to. I get emails from parents talking about what their kids were exposed to. And there are so many predators on this platform. It is actually unreal.
Yeah, but don't worry. They're going to punish the vigilante. They're not going to go after these predators. They're going to basically turn a blind eye for what, like I said, is seemingly financial reasons. But they're going to punish the vigilante. They have more of a response for the vigilante than the actual predators using their game to go after kids. This is absolutely disgusting. You're punishing this guy who's going out there and doing their job for them, leading to real action, actual arrest. This isn't just content. These people are getting put into a position where they might be formally charged, sentenced, put on a list, have their internet access revoked, something that'll actually make a change and make the world a little bit safer for kids trying to play a kids game like Roblox. Now, of course, as soon as this came out, there was already some rumbling at Roblox. You can see right here on the 11th, the chief safety officer sold off $800,000 in stock. Is that not very, very, very suspicious? The chief safety officer doing that, nonetheless. That was a very big sign that, yeah, they're nervous about this, and they were hoping it would go away, and it's not. So eventually on the 13th, Roblox would make an official statement saying, for transparency, we are sharing more information about our decision to remove Vigilantes from Roblox. See how that's the most important thing to them is the Vigilantes, but not the thing that the Vigilantes are there to get rid of. But you can see this was a disaster right from the start. They got hit with a massive note. I've never seen a community note with so many sources and official sources. I mean, these are like major media outlets being used as a source. But you can see the context says Roblox has failed to uphold its moderation. That is the reason why Vigilantes form. Not only that, they have also failed their job by inaction. Their lack of moderation for UGC is also a contributing factor. Now, if you look at the actual statement, it seems a little pissy, right? You guys will see it. You'll probably agree. It seems very petty. It seems like they're angry about this, and they're trying to drag the Vigilantes through the mud. And you know they're talking about Schlep in this case. I mean, it's very clearly about him. And you can see their statement, why we remove Vigilantes. And down here they say, more recently, vigilante activity evolved. Instead of just reporting on safety issues, Vigilantes started impersonating children and actively sought to connect with adult users. Those conversations mimicked inappropriate behavior and actively encouraged others to connect on other social media and messaging platforms, thus bypassing Roblox's own safety systems. So yeah, unfortunately, this is a classic sting operation, and unlike some bad examples of that, like there's plenty of vigilantes in different corners of the internet who are bad actors, right? They're trying just to farm content. That's what they care about the most, is making content. They don't care about doing things right to make sure law enforcement can actually do an investigation or charge the people involved. But in this case, Schlep and the people he's working with as well, they are doing a good enough job where law enforcement can act on this and actually arrest these individuals. This is a good thing. And it's only happening because Roblox refuses to do anything about this very clear and present problem on their platform. I will tell you this. We'll see some more examples. I always had heard about these sorts of issues in Roblox, and I knew it was bad. But seeing everything coming out over the past week or two, even I underestimated just how bad it is. I mean, this is a rampant problem. This is not some small pocket of a community where there's an issue going on. It is rampant across the platform, across the game, the community, everything, and it's in your face. It's just right there, and Roblox isn't doing hardly anything to combat these safety issues involving their kid-centric game, by the way. It's ridiculous. And you can see more language from that statement, and Schlep points this out. They're tripling down, and they're saying some pretty backhanded stuff right here. Similar to actual predators, they often impersonated minors. They are comparing the vigilantes to predators. How disgusting is this? Roblox, I mean, what is going on with this company? I mean, why are they so mad about people doing their job for them that they'll literally compare the vigilantes to the predators they're helping shut down? That's crazy. And the reaction to this statement was already like enough to cook them, okay? Some of the biggest Roblox content creators left their Video Star program, which is basically like they get perks and direct contact with Roblox and stuff like that. And you can see the numbers on some of these channels that have left. Millions and millions of subs. In fact, the biggest one here with 13 million, Creekcraft, he said basically like, seeing everything, like he can't possibly support this stuff, and it's just embarrassing to be associated with Roblox at this point as a company. He said, even if I want to just go to like a career standpoint, this is hurting my career and reputation by being associated with Roblox, who seemingly has dropped the ball so hard and then doubled and tripled down on it in the worst set of PR you pretty much will ever see at this point. In fact, things have gotten so bad that Chris Hansen is working on a documentary that will go into the handling of child safety issues on Roblox. That's how crazy things have gotten. And just like with Schlep, for example, Chris Hansen, you can say whatever you want about the guy, but the old To Catch a Predator shows he used to do, they worked not only for content, quote unquote, where they had a show exposing these people trying to meet up with minors, but they didn't just like walk off the set and go back home. They walked into a squad car because he was working with law enforcement and actually contributed to putting these people away because he was doing the right thing, just like people like Schlep have been doing with this Roblox situation. Imagine fumbling so hard that Chris Hansen is making a documentary about your kid's game because you couldn't do your job because the money was more important. In fact, the irony here is that you see Schlep get sued, and in response, now the Attorney General of Louisiana, the state of Louisiana, announced that they're suing Roblox, that they have filed a lawsuit against Roblox, basically saying they have not done anything to protect kids, and this is something they're suing them over. And I will talk about this particular situation in just a second, but Roblox would respond basically saying to that lawsuit that they're doing everything in their power to make sure kids are safe. And then you see Schlep sharing this saying, okay, so please read this press release while thinking about this. And you just search these things up here, and these are the results. Like, what are we doing, man? How does this happen where this stuff is so in your face, open and available on a kid-centric game? This is crazy. This should never have happened, and it's persisted for so many years. The people responsible for this are disgusting. The adults involved with this, Roblox, they're all disgusting for letting it get to this point. But I want to go back to this Attorney General from Louisiana because I knew this would happen. I hate being right about something like this, but this is exactly what I knew would happen. As soon as all this Roblox stuff started to catch fire over the past week or two, I knew it. I knew somehow this would be used to push age verification in the United States. And that's exactly what the same Attorney General is now doing. They are now sharing this down here, which is basically another stab at age verification across the board in the United States. This is a clear carbon copy of what's going on in the UK, the bill that they now have in effect with age verification. And this is now being used, this Roblox situation, as a way to push this even more in the United States. It's not about protecting kids the way they're framing this. They want to have access to your identity online. And they want to put you at risk because now you got to give over your ID if you want to go play Roblox or a game or whatever. And now these companies have your information, and show me a company that doesn't have security issues at one moment or another, and you could be at risk if these companies do not protect your information. And why would we expect Roblox to protect your information, for example, when they can't even protect the kids using their game? But anyways, another good point here by Madam Savvy, who's been fighting with Collective Shout. We talked about that group of feminists who've been going after payment processors to put pressure on various gaming platforms like Steam to remove what they consider problematic content. And Savvy points this out. Roblox and their payment processors, they're still on board. Yeah, Visa, MasterCard, PayPal. You want to get some Robux? Don't worry. You'll still get access to these payment processors. They're dropping all these video game platforms because of problematic games that adults are playing. But now we have this massive scandal, is what it really is, involving Roblox, and they're sticking by them because there's money to be had. They care about the money. It doesn't really flow with what they want to do, so they're going to keep working with Roblox, and it's just shameless at this point. Now, of course, how does Roblox respond to the disastrous statement they made about Vigilantes? Well, they, I guess, quadruple down at this point, saying they're planning to restrict social hangouts that include private spaces such as bathrooms or bedrooms to ID verified 17 plus users. First of all, why 17 plus? Why not 18 plus? And also, do you think this is the only corner of Roblox where this stuff is happening? That is very naive and a very convenient excuse. And also, Just stop all this. We don't even have to get into this. Why do these spaces exist in a kid-centric game? Why are there these adult spaces existing in Roblox in the first place? Why do you have to even think about putting in an age restriction? These shouldn't exist. Just get rid of them. But they know. Roblox knows that they're making money from this, and they don't want it to stop. And now, I guess if you want to contribute to this sort of thing, you got to give your ID over. Well, if you want to contribute to that, I guess you're going to have to go and do that. But this is crazy. This is a crazy reaction to this. And then, of course, this kind of goes along with a long proposed idea. The CEO has been pushing this for a very long time, trying to push a dating system in Roblox. Yes, the game that is heavily populated by minors, who are also clearly being put at risk all the time because of the inaction of Roblox. Yeah, let's start a dating feature on that community. Yeah, that sounds really, really good. It sounds like a great idea. What an absolute moron. It's like this guy wants to put these people, these kids, into situations that could harm them. Why would you want this? There's even like a real life aspect. Like, he has stated the goal is to get them to move to the physical world. Like, do you not see how insane this is? Unbelievable. And people are looking at this CEO, David Baszucki, however you pronounce his name. There is a petition right now with nearly 100,000 verified signatures trying to get him to step down, for Roblox to get rid of this guy. And as always, with petitions, will this lead to anything? Probably not, the petition itself at least, but it's a good pulse on the community and what they're thinking. If you're Roblox, you should see this and understand so many people are angry at your CEO, who is dropping the ball left and right. And he's made statements about this sort of stuff before. Back earlier this year, he said if you're worried about your kids being on Roblox, keep your kids off Roblox, which is funny. People are mocking the statement. He's right in a sense, right? If you're a responsible parent who's knowledgeable about what's going on with Roblox, no, you do not want your kid on Roblox. In fact, I think any reasonable parent doesn't want their kid touching pretty much anything on the internet at this point, but definitely not Roblox. So he's not exactly wrong here, but there's a problem. There's two layers to this. Parents need a parent, but also this issue is known to Roblox and they're doing nothing about it. That's the problem. It's not just a parenting issue. This is supposed to be a kid's game. And these kids are not being protected. Roblox knows this is happening and they're not doing anything about it. And eventually, see, this was on the 15th as well, the CEO would make a statement about the safety and civility always being a top priority for them. And here's an update when it comes to vigilantism and all this stuff. And you can see it's going great. Hit with another note because these people can't stop lying. And really just looking at the video itself, 3,600 likes versus 18,000 dislikes. Clearly people are not buying this. And why would they? Why would they believe anything this guy's saying? And also what he's saying is focusing way more on vigilantes than actually addressing the problems that caused the vigilantes to start acting in the first place. And then Roblox, the official account, would then quote the CEO saying a bunch of nonsense, again, showing how much they care and all the safety measures that they're clearly not using to their full potential. And then they got hit with a note. So we have a double-decker of community notes. I haven't seen this in a long time, a two-stack of notes. It's actually impressive how much they continue to lie in the face of public outrage that is not buying their story. And then you start looking at Roblox, and I think this is a funny clip. You can watch it on your own. You can find this tweet, but basically it shows kind of the operations over at HQ over at Roblox. And it's basically just like every other California-based company like this. It's an adult daycare. They just go around. All they do all day is eat and go for little trips around and have all these amenities, and they barely work. Like, these are the people who need to start doing something to clean up their game and their community, but this is what they spend their time doing instead. And the results have been terrible and good. Apparently, Roblox has already lost about 12 plus billion in market capitalization in just over a week. Ouch. And, well, you get what you deserve, right? You allow all this stuff to happen. You make the worst PR decisions ever. this is what you deserve. But that is the Roblox situation for now. Not in a million years did I ever think I'd be talking about Roblox on this channel, but this whole situation is a nightmare and something that needs to be talked about. There's no limit to how much people should talk about something like this until real change is made that'll make sure kids playing games like this are safe and protected. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.